Flow provides a built-in send email action, but it's something of an underachiever. However, using the power of Apex and Flow actions, I was able to build a powerful send HTML email action that can be easily installed and used from within Flow Builder. This improved email experience provides rich HTML email bodies that can use all of the capabilities of Flow's text templates, including bold, italics, underline, bullets, and numbers, left, center, and right justification, embedded URLs, images, fonts, and text size. However, this action also gives you access to email templates, both classic email templates and Lightning email templates. To make it easy to pass email addresses into the action, it supports any combination of the following: a single email address, a string collection of email addresses, a collection of contacts, a collection of users, or a collection of leads. And those all can be used both for 2, CC, and BCC. Other supported features in this first release include the ability to toggle on or off the use of the Salesforce per user email signature, one of the user settings, the ability to provide either a plain text body, an HTML body, or both, and the ability to set the reply to email address and the sender display name.
All right, so let's show this in action. And let's start with the body. So the body is currently, I'm passing in something called HTML text templates. So we go over to our manager and look at our text templates, and here's HTML text templates. So you can see that I have basically crafted this. I've used the formatting, and I've also inserted a merge field, so I can insert anything that Flow has access to. I can insert that. So I'm grabbing, just as an example, I'm grabbing a variable called string collection of email addresses. And I'm not actually passing in plain text yet, so we'll get back to that. So let's actually run this. So here is the email coming in, and you can see that it has kept all of the formatting, and it's also inserted the variable values, the dynamic values, which look a little odd because this was a string collection. It shows as an array like this. It's probably not what you'd want normally, but good enough for this demo. So let's go back now. Now, one of the things that's a good practice in email is to include a plain text version of what you're doing. So let's create another text template, and you notice I've got this little menu here. I'm going to pull this down. That basically says don't do any formatting, don't let any tags get in the way, because this is going to be the plain text version. So let's call this plain text version, and then I could say this is the plain text version of the message, and got that done. So let's map that plain text. So these are confusing. I've got plain text version. I'm going to map that in to the plain text body input. So I'm passing in the two different versions. This is very common in email. So let's run that. And now let's go over, and here is the new version. Now, because this email client is set to display in rich text, I only see the rich text version, but we can go here and select show original, look behind the curtain, see some of the sausage making, and you can see that in the raw email message that got sent out, it included both the HTML version full of HTML tags and the plain text version that I created separately. So far so good. Okay, let's take a quick look at addressing. There are a lot of ways that this action lets you address, 5 so far, and they range from being able to simply type a value in, or just take a single email address that someone types into a screen and use that. You can use a string collection of email addresses. One place where I think this is going to prove pretty useful is with the dual list box. And then we also have the ability to pass in a collection of contacts, a collection of users, or a collection of leads. In both cases, the action will automatically extract the email address and send to it. So you can use any combination of this for 2, any combination of these for CC, and any combination of these for BCC. Let's talk a little about using email templates. So now I'm not talking about Flow's beloved in-house text template. Instead, I'm referring to the Salesforce-wide email template solutions. So there are classic email templates and Lightning email templates. Classic email templates go back a long way. I remember using them 15 years ago, and they have been very effective, stood the test of time. So you've got the ability here to add merge fields like so. You can attach files, and then in addition we have the newer Lightning templates, which are treated as records. So we go here to email templates, and here is one of the templates, and I've got it right here, and I can edit it. I've got access to things like letterhead. So how do you access all of these? Because it's pretty cool to be able to use all of this with Flow. Notice that they have names, so whether it's a Lightning or a classic template, it's got an email template name. If we go and we look, here's what I'm going to do. Now the email APIs that are used by Apex Actions will expect the ID of the template, not the name. That's just the way those are written. So you can see right down here we've got template IDs. So if I want to shift this over, let's do this. Let me do a save as. I'm going to save this as. I'm going to say send HTML using template. And now I am going to go down here. I'm going to click on this template ID. So I need the ID of the template. So I'm going to use a get records, and I'm basically here, I'm basically simply saying find the email template with name equals approve step 2. Alright, so I need to get that template ID. I know the name of the template, so I am going to look for, just do a query on email template, name equals approve step 2. And then I am going to pass that in. Now, you'll notice that I am not actually creating a variable to store this in. I'm using automatic output handling. We're starting to roll that out. So what that allows me to do is I can simply go here to template ID, and it detects that I have an email template coming in from that get records query. So this was created automatically, and I can come in, I can drill in and get the ID, and it has the name of the element. So that's the get template ID element right here. So we're gradually simplifying the effort it takes to use the records that you query, and that's one of the first manifestations of that simplification. But I'm not done yet. If I just ran this now, even though I've given it the template ID, it would give me an error message. And that is because that email templates require a context record. So that context record can be specified here as template target record ID. The way they work is you have to pass in either a contact ID, a user ID, or lead ID. And what Salesforce is going to do with that is it's going to use that context record to fill in fields like this. So that context record is going to be used to populate these merge fields. You can see that these merge fields refer to a recipient. That's the record you're passing in. So that's needed to get the email template to work properly. So for our example, we will use another get records to get the template target record. And what I'm doing here is I am simply looking for the contact with first name equals Diana. Who is Diana? Well, Diana is one of the contacts on this org, and you can see her right here. And here she is, and she's got an email address that is here. So we're going to want to insert this. Now notice also we've got a birth date, a relatively young one is our Diana. We've got an area of expertise, and you'll recall that we've got merge fields for that, birth date and area of expertise. So if this works properly, then what our flow is going to do is it's going to gather Diana's information, pass it to the template, and the template's going to merge these, and then that's going to get sent to the email. So let's add this in, and once again, what do we need to reference? Well, we need to reference that query, and there it is. It's that. Oops, missed it. Okay, here it is. This is the automatically generated reference to the contact that is being returned from this get template target ID. So here I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab its ID. So once again, before this release, I would have had to go down here and I would have had to do what is now behind an advanced checkbox. I would have had to create a record variable to store this information, but now it's automatic and I don't have to do that. So we're almost ready to go, but we're not quite ready, because even though we have specified both the template ID and the template target record ID, we are going to have a collision between the template and our own body that we've provided. The email action doesn't know which one you want to use. You can't use both if you think about it. So what we have to do is we have to remember to turn off the two manual bodies and the manual subject. So you can either use a template or you can specify it yourself in Flow and use text templates and Flow variables, one or the other. So now we should be ready to go. Let's save it. Let's click Run. And you can see here that the email has been sent. The rich text provided in the Lightning email template is preserved. The fields from the contact are properly inserted, and we are in good shape. So keep in mind a couple of operational considerations. The emails that are sent from your flows here are using your org's email capacity. There are some limits on daily use of email capacity. You can, depending on your edition, you'll have different levels of limits. You can read about that. We've provided some links in the documentation for this flow action. And that's really what you need to know to get started. So good luck with this, and may it improve your emailing.